My name is Carl Warren. I'm the Operations Manager at Testex NDT.
Hello, I'm Billy. I'm a Director at Testex NDT Limited.
Testex has been operating for 25 years, which we're celebrating this year. We are a specialist NDT company and we work in the petrochemical and bulk storage terminal facilities across the country and parts of Europe.
Over the past 4 years, Testex has grown fairly significantly, and this really highlighted to us an inefficiency in our previous operational system. One of the major inefficiencies that we found we had was getting the information from cradle to grave from jobs. So we had a team that work on quotes, that work on sales, we have a technical team, through to operation, through to completing the job out on site and then to invoice them. We found that we was lacking information from one department to another. The people that would end up on the job might not have all the information that came through at the very beginning. When we started the process of looking at something to change our operational system, we looked at some off-the-shelf products. The main issue we had, and at first we did want an off-the-shelf product, mainly down to financial reasons and time, but one of the issues we found with off-the-shelf is it did some aspects of what we wanted, but not everything. And then where it didn't fit that criteria, it was usually something that was quite key. So if we had sort of 3 key markers, it might fit 2 and not the 3rd. And we knew that we probably couldn't operate just with those sort of 2 legs on the stool rather than 3. So then we started looking at some custom built ones. The issue that we had around a really customizable system was we felt like the onus on us to be able to develop, to drive the way those systems would work. We didn't have the time, the skills, and the know-how in the business, because we've just worked on spreadsheets for the past 25 years. So then when we looked at this system, Cyferd with Tick9, it sort of fit both boxes. It wasn't off the shelf, it was customizable, but there was a tech support there from a company that knew what they were doing, that knew how to take our wants and our requests and actually make them happen. Because during those original meetings, there was a lot of sort of, the sky is blue, this is what we want, how can you make it happen? So that was really important to us, that actually with this system, we've got both, I feel. It was customised completely to our needs and to fit what we wanted. So it was important to us with our new ops system that we had a difference between what we could create in the office and with some of the heads of departments versus what would go out to all staff. So with that, Tick9 were able to develop Cyferd into 2 apps, but using the same database of information, so we weren't duplicating any of our work. So that really means that the technicians have dedicated access to the specific jobs that they're carrying out without it sort of being clouded with the other 10, 15, 20 jobs they might be doing in a week. And crucially, it's given the technicians and the inspectors access to all of the history of the assets that they're inspecting, whether that be last month, last week, last year. Some of these inspections can be repeated after 5 years, 10 years. So with that whole holistic view of what they're doing, they're able to better plan, better prepare, and ultimately do a better job for our client at the end.
Through the development process, it was highlighted quite early on that the visual aspect of our planning was quite important to us. We'd historically worked on a basic Excel sheet which gave an overview of jobs, personnel and timings. This then became a key factor, that's something that we couldn't really lose, and with the support of Tick9 we managed to implement a Gantt chart which represented the information that we'd historically been using in a similar method that was familiar to staff and technicians alike, and it allowed for an easier transfer into the new system.
So historically, Testex have operated from Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, paperwork, post-it notes, scribbled notes on desks. So this has really helped us to not only centralise all of our information, but to also take the next step towards being more digital. And that's something that we have focused on over the past sort of 5 years. But this has taken the main aspects of our business, made it digital, put it online. We have a lot more remote workers, people working from home. So to be able to put all of that information in one place has been really, really good for us.
Since we've implemented the apps, we've seen a considerable increase in the accuracy of the information we hold and are able to pass on to our staff. Breaking this down further, this has allowed us to see where we have resource of staff and personnel available where historically we weren't able to.
Implementing any new system has its drawbacks. People don't like change. So we was very aware of that at the beginning, that there would be a sort of a change curve to go through. But overall, it's been adopted quite quickly and fairly painlessly, I must say. Our sales staff, how they've adopted it has been really well. I think that's because the system's quite easy to use. It's very intuitive. Because it's been customised to what we want, there's not lots of areas where it's, oh, we'll ignore that, don't fill that part in, we don't quite use that part of the system. So that's helped a lot, because every question that's there or every box there is to fill in is there for a reason. And because it's replaced what we did before, it's the same, but it's just different. This also helps because everything's in one place, so rather than having to open 2 or 3 spreadsheets, asking someone to close a log down and they've had it open all day because you need to access the log, that's made it a lot simpler as well. Our technicians, they've been able to get on board with using the technicians app fairly quickly. We introduced that for all staff in January. Again, because it is a very intuitive system, they were able to sort of adopt that process fairly quickly, and the fact that they've got all that information to hand, I think has led them to understand that this is a better process, and they're really all on board with adopting and learning the new system. My advice for anyone else undertaking this particular journey, especially if you're coming from a company like ours where we didn't have that in-house experience, we weren't all technical minded with software, and certainly we never built anything like this, is to get a really good partner with you who can develop that, who can take your ideas and actually turn it into something that works.
Up to now, the process has been highly successful. We've managed to roll out a brand new operational system that has been adopted from sales out to the field staff.
As this first stage of development with the Cyferd platform has been so successful, we're now looking at other systems we have within the business and how they can be integrated within it as well. So we're really excited for what comes next with Testex, Cyferd and Tick9.